Starfield is getting closer and closer with each day, and even though it got delayed, it doesn't stop us as fans to speculate on every little detail. Starfield will bring new adventures, characters, and places to explore, and that gets me all the more excited for the upcoming sci-fi title. Bethesda has a certain trademark with their games that make them such an unforgettable experience. What could this be, you ask? Well, it would have to be none other than their ability to make unique and distinctive factions. And what is up, guys? Andrew from the Denmen here, and today we will be taking a look at all of the different Starfield factions that we know of right now. With less than a week till Xbox and Bethesda's game showcase, I thought it would be a good time to take a look at all of the information we have on the factions in Starfield. So if you are excited, make sure to hit that like button and comment what you want to see from Starfield. But with that being said, we have a lot to go over, so get comfy, relax a little, and let's get right into the video. First one we have to talk about is the main faction of the game in the space exploration group of Constellation. Now this will be the major faction that the player is involved in. The goal for Constellation is to discover the mysteries of space and will tether the game to its sci-fi roots really well. It will be interesting to see what direction they take this faction in because it will for sure be a big part of the game. We already know of one other member of Constellation with Vasco. This robot is conditioned for expeditionary travel around the settled systems and is equipped with defense capabilities if deemed necessary. It will be a unique experience to uncover the mysteries of space, and it looks like Constellation will play a major role in that. Some of the most interesting storylines we know of as of right now is the bloody colony war that took place between the United Colonies and Free Star Collective about 20 years before the start of the game. This sets up an interesting dynamic between these two and could lead to some great quests in Starfield itself. Before we take a look into any potential storylines that could happen, we need to talk about these two factions themselves, starting off with the United Colonies. The United Colonies are an alliance of different settlements that form to create one mega space republic. The capital city of New Atlantis has been shown off in concept art and is described as a melting pot of all people. It will be interesting to see this city in-game and will be a fun destination to explore. After the colony war with the Free Star Collective, the United Colonies are considered to be the most powerful faction within the settled systems, both military and politically wise. This doesn't mean that this couldn't change from actions that the player will take within Starfield, like joining the Free Star Collective or United Colonies, so we will just have to wait and see. The Free Star Collective, on the other hand, is on the other side of the spectrum, very different from the United Colonies. A loose federation between three star systems, the Free Star Collective believe that people should have their own freedom and be allowed to live as individuals. This alone gives off a different vibe from that of the United Colonies, and I would really like to see the dynamic that is played between the two factions. There's definitely a lot of potential here and could make for some interesting storylines. I imagine that both the Free Star Collective and United Colonies are still in conflict with each other, but instead of full-on wars, it is through different ways like plundering, blockades, and likely much more. This is all speculation though. Bethesda could go in a lot of different ways, like maybe with an uneasy peace between the two factions, or a full-blown second colony war. I'd be interested to hear what you guys would want to see from the United Colonies and Free Star Collective, so drop a comment in the comments section below. Going a little deeper into the sci-fi trope just a little more is the space pirate faction known as the Crimson Fleet. Instead of having them as just another faction to fight, Bethesda has already confirmed that you will be able to join them or turn them into the authorities. This leads into some very unique storylines that we could go on. For instance, we could be able to become something of an undercover cop and work against the Crimson Fleet to take them down from the inside. Especially if we were able to subtly thwart their plans while also working for them would make for such a great storyline. Then on the other hand, we would be able to plunder the ships of unwavering explorers and become a captain of the Crimson Fleet. This would allow us to either play a good or bad character and create more replayability for Starfield. Either way, the Crimson Fleet has a lot of potential for a great faction, and I can't wait to see them in Starfield. Next up is the Fanatical cult of House Roon. This one we don't have a lot of info on, except that they are made up of religious zealots. This doesn't give us a lot to go off on, but what makes them so unique is the fact that they are a group of zealots found throughout the settled systems, which is more of a frontier that humans haven't fully explored. If I had to make a comparison just from a brief description we have on them right now, I would say they are a lot like that of the Children of Adam from the Fallout series. I would be interested to see if we were able to join House Roon like we were able to do with the Children of Adam in Far Harbor, but we will just have to wait and see. One faction I'd be excited to hear more about is that of the Ecliptic Mercenaries. They are described as bounty hunters who travel across space to carry out dangerous missions from their clients. I would love to see them as a playable faction just from the vibe they give off. This one has a lot of potential as a great space bounty hunter storyline and would definitely become a fan favorite very quickly. If done correctly, Bethesda has a great faction to introduce to the player, and I can't wait to see the Ecliptic Mercenaries in Starfield. The Spacers are a faction that we know the least about except for their violent nature. I imagine that they will become somewhat of an antagonist for the player, but it could definitely go in a lot of different ways the more Bethesda reveals. The final one on our list is one that I am very excited to see with Reugen Industries. Taking on the corporate side of Starfield, Reugen Industries will become available to join through being hired and makes for a different side to Starfield that the other factions cannot accomplish. I'd be interested to see how far Bethesda will take them, with us possibly being able to rise up the ranks and become the CEO. A way to see the everyday life of Starfield will make for an interesting storyline, and I can't wait to see what Reugen Industries will become. As you can see, the factions in Starfield vary from space explorers to pirates and even fanatical zealots. The amount of diversity between these different factions is next to none, and I can't wait to hear more about them. It is just about 1 week away from Bethesda and Xbox's big summer game showcase, and that is where we will likely hear more on Starfield. Stay tuned because we will be covering all the latest news for the showcase and especially anything on Starfield. But that is all for me now though, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment any videos you want to see in the future, and I'll see you all next time.